We were both book editors, and we just got thrown together randomly on a project, and we were writing a lot of outlines and plotting a lot of books, and we just clicked.
Yeah,
kind of right away.
We ended up doing so much writing as editors for this book company. It was like boot camp for being a writer, because every book series needed to have the same tone. So we rewrote and actually wrote so much.
We wrote so much, and you know
that actually convinced me that I could be a writer. It was just like, you know what? I've written a lot of books now. I thought to myself.
Eventually, I had gone to a different publishing company, and Melinda made the jump to being a freelance writer. And that's when Roswell came in. I was working at a book production company called 17th Street Productions, and we were doing a book series for the publisher, Pocket Books. Pocket Books had come to us with this idea, Roswell High.
That was just it. Roswell High, the two words.
The great, they wanted a high school series.
Not to denigrate that, though. That was a good...
It was a good idea.
It was.
All power to them. They wanted it to be more based in high school, less based in just hardcore science fiction. This was aimed at the young adult girls, probably, between the ages of 10 and 12. And so, like I was saying, I kind of thought about Roswell and what it meant to me, and to me it seemed sort of this wacky alien, conspiracy theory central. And I was trying to play with that idea, and also the idea of a thwarted love. The Romeo and Juliet, kept apart by fate lovers. That just is a classic. I had the characters. I knew the setup. I had come up with the Max saving Liz in the crash down, that she gets shot and he saves her and outs himself as an alien, and that's the start of their romance.
You're all right now. You're all right.
I had come up with, I think basic arcs to take us from that point through the first 6 books.
Right.
And at that point, I needed to find a writer for it, and I wanted Melinda.
My older brother lived in Roswell for a while, so I did know Roswell a little, and I had, for some reason, a collection of Roswell
Well, this
artifacts.
is why I knew that Melinda would be a good writer for it. When I was developing Roswell, I have never, to this day, been to the town of Roswell. But in my mind, it was this place filled with, balloons shaped like aliens and alien donuts and just all sorts of alien Pez heads and, ridiculous, wacky things. And that's what I wanted to play with as a kind of a backdrop for the characters.
Oh, that's nice.
What? My mother makes them what?
I don't even know if we had a name for their planet, but, did we?
No, I think that we did that cheat thing where it's kind of like...
You couldn't say it in your language.
Say it in your language.
I don't think that we ever thought of them as being an alien first and foremost. We thought of them as being a person. Being, a character who was raised by these parents in this place, or in Michael's case, was not raised by a loving family, and how that would make him a different character from Max and Isabel, who really had kind of, a strong family behind them. And these are things that you can say about human beings, obviously, and we just approached it from that angle. It was never, who were they as an alien, And,
right.
And the TV rights sold on the strength of the first draft of the first book that she wrote, so her first draft was good enough to create Roswell the television, so... It's rare that the television rights to a book series like this would sell at all. It's even more rare that it would, in fact, get made and then get picked up and actually put on the air for 3 years. I mean, I don't think we ever expected any of it.
Well, it happened so fast that the rights sold, and then the pilot actually got made, and then that the pilot got picked up.
And we were still working on the books, and the books hadn't even launched at that point.
I guess it would be okay to show you guys this.
When I watched the pilot, what I was really amazed about, which was what was so much the same, it would be like really like silly little things. It would be like, they kept in the thing that she wore the dress with the cupcakes on it when she was in kindergarten. And also, Jason left in one little joke that my editor, not Laura, but the pocketbook editor, had taken out, and I felt so vindicated.
I knew that joke was funny.
It's true. But then there were also things like in the pilot that I had sort of little writerly envy about, because there's this scene at the Crash Festival, And for one thing, I never used that festival in the books, and I thought, why didn't I ever use that festival in the books? But there's this moment where they reenact the crash, and Isabel and Michael and Max are watching this crash, and you just see in their faces that it means so much.
Well, there's a
something-
little sort of alien stuffed animal
Right.
that's on fire,
It's
and
on
they're
fire,
watching it.
and they're watching it, and the rest of the crowd is just partying and having a good time and cheering. And you can just see that it means something so different to them, because this is a reenactment of their parents'
being
death,
killed.
and it was so powerful, I thought, in there. And I was like, I can't believe I never thought of that. You know?
We thought that Jason Katims.
I know.
He's a good writer.
Exactly.
Liz, listen to me. You can't talk to anyone about this. Not your parents, not Maria, no one. You don't understand what'll happen if you do.
I stopped picturing them the way they were described in the books as soon as I saw the pilot.
Yeah, I know.
As soon as I saw them, they just
The
became
thing
the
is,
characters.
I wrote them to match the cover photo of what the publisher gave me for the book. So it was never like I pictured this Max and he was blonde and he had blue eyes, and then I wrote it and I just fell in love with that Max. It's like I wrote him to match the
Right.
cover photo.
Appearance wasn't important.
You know.
It's all about who he was inside.
So it didn't matter, yeah. I always thought Jason was perfect Max, and so
Yeah.
I think I even picture him like that. I don't really ever picture him with blonde hair anymore.
You broke the bottle when you fell. Spill ketchup on yourself. Don't say anything, please.
The thing that always kind of stayed the same was,
The characters.
you know, that Max and Liz were sort of like the heart of the show, and I thought like the casting was so amazing, because from the pilot, when Shiri and Jason looked at each other, you could like feel it, and I thought
From the very first minute, they had the perfect chemistry. It was the
yeah.
exact chemistry that we wanted, that the books had.
because
you
they
know,
could
between Max
be
and
in their
Liz.
little biology lab and look at each other across the room, and you could just feel it.
I think that Jason Katims managed to really. He kind of focused on the same thing. I think we're similar sensibilities with him in that way.
It was just interesting to see what another writer did with just the same Max heals Liz, and you have this group of characters with, you know, these basic characteristics, with like the exception of the Valentes, who are very different.
Valentes are different.
And we love the way that they were different.
You're a smart guy, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
In the books, he's pure evil, and he's
Right.
never redeemed. He is a bad guy, and it was clear right from the pilot that Valenti had a backstory of his own that was very interesting to us and made him
Yeah.
a much more interesting character.
Because the adult characters in the books didn't really have backstories, you know, because they're geared at kids, and you just kind of don't bother with the
Yeah.
adults. It's like,
They don't care about the adults. But so we
the kids
knew
all have backstories, and they all have lives. The adults are just like,
window dressing.
Going home?
Maria in the book and Maria in the show have a similar sensibility with their, you know,
well, they
kind of new agey, wise-cracking point of view.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They might be like softer,
Sniffing the,
harder
herbs.
edged or something, but they still kind of had the basic relationship with Michael. Michael did have his spiky hair in the first season.
Michael had
That
spiky hair.
That was one of the physical things that stayed the same.
Books 1 through 5 came out with covers that had photos of cover models on them, you know, of the characters and everything. And then when the show started, the publishing company very intelligently relaunched them with covers featuring Jason Behr and Shiri Appleby and, you know, all the other actors, because that's what makes it recognizable.
Even though I was still writing the books when the first season was running, I could have started incorporating things from the show, but we didn't do that. So it didn't change the content at all, but it certainly changed the
fortunes of the
fortunes
book.
of books and the readership, the number of people that read them.
Sometimes I just sit and think, it's the crash down. It always comes down to the crash down for me. I remember, whenever it was, 1999 or something, sitting there and thinking, oh, Liz's family lives, you know, over this diner, and what should I call it? Let me give it a wacky alien name. Like, let me just call it the Crashdown. And then sometimes I go to the crashdown.com and I just look at these people and I think, I can't believe that this has come from it. And I just can't believe that all these people are so attached to not only the show, which, you know, we didn't have that much to do with, but to the idea of who these characters are, and that kind of came from us just sitting there and talking to each other at dinner one day. And it's incredible to me that it's really reached so many people and it's mattered to them so much. It was a little show, you know, we thought a little teen show on the WB, and it's really just inspired this legion of really devoted fans, and they know, at this point, I think they know more about Roswell than I do.
Me too.
You know,
Me too. They really do.
They've been so faithful to Roswell, and they've done so much good work because of coming together through Roswell.
Right.
They just
I really
deserve.
respect them. I think they definitely deserve a love letter.
We would
I
love
hope
to
that
send
they
them,
take it that way.
I know.
Yeah.
We love them.
We do. We love them.
So help me out here, Max. I mean, what are you?